Hi, it's the Tiny One slash Bishi, and I'm finally getting around to doing my top 5 deaths in Danganronpa. Remember, this is off my personal feelings about these characters' deaths. I'm doing both execution deaths and murders. Murder slash suicides, and yeah, a lot of deaths in Danganronpa have had an effect on me. Of course, some didn't, but these are my top 5, and it was hard coming up with this list. This list is going to be from Danganronpa 1, Danganronpa Anime, Danganronpa 2, and Danganronpa 3, both Despair side and Future Foundation side. I am not covering B3 in this video. So, let's start off our list. And by the way, I'm sitting at my computer so I can have the information ready since I need to film on my phone. Alright, number 5 is going to be Sakura Ogami from Danganronpa 1 and Danganronpa the anime. She is known as the, super high school level fighter or the ultimate martial artist. And I really liked her character despite her character's appearance. She was like really sweet and she was really protective. And it was kind of sad that she didn't have, sorry, that's my chip bag deciding to squeeze in a view. She really didn't have that many friends, and so it was so sweet when she was able to form a friendship with Asahina, and they were just so cute together. And the fact that I honestly wanted her to be one of the survivors along with Hina, because I mean, it was, like I said, it was so cute to see them both together. But in the end, her death, it did serve a purpose, although it was harsh to see her go out the way she did. But yeah, Sakura is just so awesome and so adorable, and I feel compelled to hug any Sakura now that I see at a convention, because so few people want to cosplay her, and she's just a really awesome character, and I love her. And yeah, so that was number 5. Number 4 is Chiaki Nanami, who is the super high school level gamer, also known as the ultimate gamer. And I gotta admit, when I first saw the playthrough for Danganronpa 2, I didn't like her character. I actually found her character kind of boring and kind of like, is this really a necessary character? I honestly didn't think that I would be sad when she died, but then as she progressed and she became more useful to Hajime and the others, I started to love her more and more. And then when she died, I kind of felt a little bit sad, but then when they showed her dying the first time in Danganronpa Despair side, oh my god, I really cried during that scene, especially when they not only had her, but then they also introduced Izuru into the scene to witness her final moments, and that was just heartbreaking. And then what he did afterwards, and which is why if you've ever seen my Izuru Kamakura cosplays, I do wear Chiaki's little hair clip in my hair as Izuru, as like a tribute to her. And it gives people so many feels when I do that. I actually gave mine to Miss Artistry because she does a femme version of Izuru, and I'm just gonna buy another one for this upcoming Sake anime when I do Izuru again. They're not that expensive. But yeah, so that was number 4. Number 3. Yeah, it's like, hello, boo boo. Number 3 is Chihiro Fujisaki, and I don't have my slide up, so oops. Sorry about that. Okay. Chihiro Fujisaki is also called the Super High School Level Programmer, or also the Ultimate Programmer. And I really liked his character. He was so adorable, and then when we discovered the twist that Chihiro is actually a boy wearing girls' clothing, I felt for him all the more because of his background and what he had to go through and everything. It was just heartbreaking and then so sad. And then when he gets killed in the first game, that was just... And then the fact that Byakuya decides, oh, well, I'm just gonna fiddle around with the crime scene and just, you know, do this and do that to, like, throw people off. And it's like, really? We're talking about a person. A delicate flower, adorable little person. And you're just treating it like it's nothing. And, ugh. But then the reasons behind it, and it was just the fact that he found a friend and he wanted to come out and, you know, reveal his big secrets, and it ended up in his death. Is just so horrifying and just so sad. So yeah, because of it, but ugh. Rest in peace, oh baby. Oof. Also, I want to add, I'm also adding AI as part of Chihiro, because, I mean, it's just the same person, even though it's his, even though he programmed it into an AI program. That was sad, too, when we're like, oh, well, there's going to be a surprise execution, you know, when when Monokuma pulled that out and everybody's like, what? And then here comes adorable little AI. It's like, oh my god. Like, it makes you wonder exactly how long Monokuma knew that AI was there, and he just let the other students interact with AI and think that they were being all covert, and altogether it was just part of the plan to have, like, the ultimate despair dropped on them when he revealed, hey, look what I found, you know, and then completely destroy them in front of them after they had suffered from Sakata's suicide. It's just, that's one of the more heartbreaking scenes in the first game. Okay, these... here comes one of the other hard ones, so... Number 2, and that's going to be Peko Pekoyama from Danganronpa 2. And, she is known as the... Is my computer's going out? She's known as the Super High School Level Kendoka, also known as the Ultimate Swordswoman. And she is employed by the Fuyuhiku clan, of which Kuzuryu is a member of. And her and Kuzuryu, basically, they grow up together and they form a bond, which later on turns into romantic feelings, and which they admit free time events and also Fuyuhiko Kuzuru's free time events. And my phone wants to scrub. Hold on. But then, during Pekko's execution, it is clearly obvious that they have feelings for each other, especially when Kuzu was like, I never wanted you as my tool, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's basically what she was given to him as. And he wanted more. He wanted to love her. He wanted her to love him back, that sort of thing. Which is why that death was so heartbreaking, because the fact that she's about to be executed and Monokuma is just puppeting her movements, and Kuzu runs out into the middle of the execution with no regards to his safety at all. He just feels like he needs a protector. He doesn't know how. He doesn't know what he's going to do, but he just knows he has to do it. And then the fact that Monokuma has her do that final slice, which goes right through Fuyuhiko's face and just completely destroys his eye so that he can't use it anymore. And the fact that she hurt him, she didn't mean to hurt him, but the fact that she hurt him was just so devastating to her that she just gave up. She just thought, well, he's dead too. Why should I continue to fight? And she just holds him close. And while the other samurai, as part of the execution, just basically skewer her to death. And I actually cried during that execution because that was so heartbreaking. And it's so hard to still watch that execution or even think about it because of what happened and such the strong bond that they have with each other. And it made me so happy when I found out the twist that you later on find out about later on, both in the game and in the last episode of Future Foundation. Okay, so that was two. Whew. And now we're on to the honorable mentions before I get to the number one. And actually, for those of you who know me, the number one will surprise you. Anyway, so honorable mention is Mokuro Kurosawa? I don't know, I'm butchering that, I'm sorry. She is the super high school level soldier, also known as the Ultimate Soldier. And she is also the sister of Junko Inoshima. Her death in Danganronpa 1 was a surprise. I'm sure it was a surprise to everybody. And then when we found out that, hey, there's a 16th student going on, but then we don't know that the 16th student has already died. That was pretty interesting. And I love how in Danganronpa 3 Despair Side, they actually bring her back so that we can actually see what her character is like and see her interacting with her sister, interacting with the other class from the second game, and I just really love her character, and it was a shock, and it was sucked that she died, because that would have been interesting to see her as a continued part of the game, and, you know, that would have probably been a different ending if she had survived. I also like the fact that she impersonated her sister so well that nobody guessed any different. So, yeah. Now, on to I actually have 4 honorable mentions. On to I'm not doing this in any particular order either, so on to the second honorable mention. Okay, second honorable mention, I don't know why I'm doing this, is going to be Teru Hanamura. And of course, I did not pull up his information like I thought I was going to. Let's pull him up real quick. If I can pull him up real quick. There we go. Oops, I wasn't prepared. Okay. So, Teru Hanamura is known as the super high school level cook, or otherwise known as the Ultimate Cook. And in the English version, he's voiced by Todd Hartcorn. Now, originally, I only liked him because he was voiced by Todd, and I love Todd, I love his work, and I didn't really like the fact that he was so perverted and just, you know, it was kind of a turnoff. But then you get to his execution, and then you find the reason that it was for his mom, and that kind of like tugs at your heartstrings, because it's like, you know, it's family, a lot of people, you know, love their mom, that sort of thing. But then, I mean, yeah, that was ouch and painful. The reason he's an honorable mention is the fact that when you go into the ultimate despair part of the characters from 2, you kind of find out they do some pretty effed up stuff. And there is a suspicion that when Teruto was under the influence of the ultimate despair, that he actually, yeah, he misses his mom, blah, 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 but the suspicion is that he actually killed his mom, cooked her, and ate her while under despair. So, yeah. And because he's such a high school, you know, so he's the ultimate cook, of course he can take a human body, human flesh, and make it edible and presentable, and nobody would be the wiser. Like, he is his own little Hannibal Lecter. So, yeah, that's why he is one of the honorable mentions, because that's creepy. Okay, honorable mention number 3. I can't pull the finger up. And of course, again, I am not prepared. I think he's on this. Yeah, here we go. Alright. So, third one is going to be Nekomaru Niyai. He is the super high school level coach, but he is the ultimate team manager. I don't know why they changed that around. And, again, he was a character, when I originally saw him in the game, I didn't really like him that much. But then he kind of started earning points where it was cute seeing his interactions with Akane, and then the fact that he, I think it was, yeah. Excuse me. And then the fact that when she tried to go up against Monokuma, and Monokuma was going to do, you know, like the ultimate killing against her, and Nekomaru, he, without regard to his own safety, he just jumped in front of her and took the full brunt of Monokuma's attack. And I thought, oh god, that's going to be the end, but no, and then they bring him back as Mechamaru, where he cries tea out of one eye and then soda out of the other eye. I don't know what that was supposed to be for, but I kind of liked him more as Mechamaru, I'll gotta admit. But then the fact that he and Gundam, they kind of decide, hey, everybody else is starving, we need to get out of here, just kill me, you know. And it was just so sad that Gundam was found out to be the killer, even though it was kind of like a mutual thing. But yeah, so again, Nekomaru selflessly sacrificed himself to help the others who were starving in the tower. But then, to bring him back the last time, and I kind of like the final form of him the best, is when Soda decides to make a mini Maru for Akane so she can not be so sad and so miserable. Because, I mean, Soda, as much as he pines for and just drools all over Sonia, he does have a heart inside, and he is compassionate for his other classmates. And so I thought that was so sweet. that he made the Minimaru Furakane, complete with sayings that Nekomaru would say. I think that was just so adorable. But yeah, and now we go on to my final honorable mention, which you guys will actually be surprised that he's an honorable mention, but I will mention why he is, so don't worry about it. Final honorable mention. Why do I keep doing this, not being prepared? Probably because I'm not used to doing this style of looking through. Okay. Final honorable mention is Nagato Kameda. And I know you guys are going to be like, he's an honorable mention? Well, he's my number one honorable mention, if that helps. And, it was hard trying to figure out a top 5 list of deaths, but he is the super high school level good luck, also known as the ultimate lucky student. But keep in mind that just because he's a lucky student, that doesn't necessarily mean good luck. Well, I should say good luck to whoever's around it. It could be bad luck to someone else, but then it comes off to good for him for some weird, odd reason. So yeah, his death was like, seriously, overkill. What the hell are you doing, Nagato? You know, type thing. And the fact that he basically lost it and just, that was an act of suicide, in my mind, because even though he had someone, he had Shiaki kill him, that's still an act of suicide. To put that much pain and that much work into setting it up so that someone can kill you. Maybe it's assisted suicide, but still, it's suicide all the same. And it's just like, seriously, you wanted off so badly and you just wanted to say, F everybody else. And so that was your final blow. Really. But I was glad in Sparaside, or not the Sparaside, the last episode of Future Foundation, when we find out that he's fine, and then he has that robot arm. Oh my god, I want to make that robot arm for him. I'm also going to make Junko's arm. But yeah, the robot arm was the best, except it was too noisy. Soda, couldn't you make an arm for him that was less noisy? I mean, you know Soda had to made that for him. But yeah, so the other, hold on. The other point I do want to make with Nagato is the fact that when you go into, I didn't find this out until Weeby Newz did a character analysis on Nagato, and her character analysis broke my heart, because I didn't realize that Nagato has the white hair because he is sick. He is dying from something that's affecting his brain, which is why he is affected by despair so easily, and the fact that he has moments where he's just fine, and then moments of insanity, and it's just, you wonder, what are you doing? What are you saying? And it's just the madness and the despair that's affecting him so much. And it's just like, you know, you want to go into those memes, Nagato did nothing wrong, you know, type thing. Well, he did some things wrong, but a lot of times it was, personally, I say a lot of it wasn't his fault. It was the sickness's fault, and if he wasn't so plagued by it, he wouldn't have done what he done. That's my personal little take on Nagato, and he is my absolute favorite from Danganronpa 2, aside from Izuru Kamakura. But yeah, he is always going to be my baby, and anything Nagato that I find that I can afford, I will always get. In fact, I'm trying to save up to get a body pillow. It's going to be Nagato on one side and Servant on the other side. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. Anyways, here we go. On to number 1. And the number one death from Danganronpa that was really hard for me, I mean really, really hard, was Juzo Sakakura from Danganronpa Future Foundation. And he's also in Danganronpa Despair Side. But his death happens in Future Foundation. And he is the... when he attended Hope's Peak Academy, he was a super high school level boxer, which is also known as the ultimate boxer. They don't have actually his ultimate here on the wiki page, just the super high school level. But anyways, when he graduates from the class, he becomes the executive in control of the Special Crime Investigation Unit. And in Danganronpa Future Foundation, of course, he's strapped like everybody else is with the little bangles or whatever, the bracelets that have the NG code on it. And his NG code is, what is it? No, his NG code is the fact that he can't punch. He's the ultimate boxer and he can't punch. No, he can't throw a punch because he will die from his NG code. And here's another character I actually didn't like him at first, but I think I saw my phone skip, so hold on. Okay, so I like how in the Despair Side you see a bit more of him when he's kind of like undercover and investigating Hope's Peak Academy because they are suspicious of what's going on, and he's working with Kyosuke Munakata, sorry, and Chisa Yukuzome. And when you first see him, at first you think that he has strong feelings for Chisa because of their interaction together, and then later on you find out that he actually has feelings for Munakata. But of course this is Japan and they can't have a happy ending in a lot of these anime. And plus, this is also an anime based off a video game of a killing game. It's not supposed to be happy endings, you know. There's supposed to be sadness and despair. The fact that while Munakata is going through Future Foundation side and he's trying to figure out who the killer is so that he can get rid of the despair so that hope can flourish, because in his mind there's only black and white. There's no, there's no reasoning with him. He thinks all the remnants of despair need to die. He doesn't think that can be rehabilitated like Makoto thinks. Yeah. And so he's just in severe conflict with him and just fighting back and forth. And then when he finds Juzo, I'm sorry, I'm a little warm. When he finds Juzo, and Juzo's like, hey, what's going on? Trying to figure out what's going on. And then you think he is killed by Munakata, because Munakata takes his sword, which is basically like a lightsaber, and just runs him all the way through. But Juzo is, Juzo is like, screw that. I'm a boxer. I am stronger than that. And he just powers through. And I'm so glad that when Naegi needs someone to help him the most, Juzo is there to help him. Not only that, he just says, Juzo basically says, screw it, and cuts off his own hand so that he doesn't have to worry about his NG code going off anymore. I mean, extreme, but you don't expect anything else from Juzo. That was weird. My phone started freaking out. Anyways, then when him and Naegi figure out, hey, maybe if we cut the power, this will help because of the monitors. So, Juzo is bleeding to death. I mean, he has severe injuries. He cut off his own hand, despite having had this gaping wound from being run through. And he manages to find the control room, manages to shut off every single piece of every single little device that's feeding electricity. And stupid phone. And then, like, you see him as he's going down the line, pulling levers. He's getting weaker, and it's getting harder and harder, and he's succumbing to his injuries. And when Munakata figures out, hey, the power's going out because of Juzo, and he runs to the control room. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't figure out the control room in the first place, but anyways, he gets there, and it's just so heartbreaking to see Juzo just like this. You know, he has cut the last bit of power left, but he dies in the process. And it's so heartbreaking to see Munakata just standing in the doorway of the control room, going, I'm too late, I'm always too late. And it's just like, yeah. Very hard. Very hard to watch. I was just bawling. I didn't even like him in the first place. And then the fact that he self-sacrificed in the end instead of just saying, screw everybody, you know, that made me actually love him as a character and hate the fact that he died. But, I mean, that's the nature of Danganronpa. Oh, fuck this series. Honestly, you know, I don't really mean that. It's just, it's one of those series that's like Attack on Titan. It's like, don't get attached to anybody. But yet they make these characters so lovable and you want to attach yourself to them, and then they just get snatched away. Either by being murdered or being executed, or like what happened in Future Foundation side. And it's just, oh, you want to scream. You want to scream, and you hope that the scream will bring them back. It's one of those things. Anyway, so that is my top 5 deaths in Danganronpa. Your list may differ, but again, like I said, this is my own personal list. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Stay safe. Stay happy. Sweet. I have the hiccups now. Awesome. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye.